Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. We have Richmond, Virginia's own joining me here on the show here tonight. Jazz and hip hop group. It goes by the name of Butcher Brown. Butcher Brown, what's going on? Welcome to the show, Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. We have a brand new album out right now. Butcher Brown presents Triple Trey. How you guys feeling about it?
Feeling great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys currently doing some tours for it, or you're prepping for it right now?
There's a couple of things being worked on, like end of the year, beginning next year stuff. So don't want to snitch. But yeah. We'll definitely be some shows.
So how are you guys receiving all the feedback right now? What was the most important thing that you received from maybe someone that you were surprised out there, one of your fans, or even one of the big icons in the world? Because I know you've worked with acts such as Rhapsody out there.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people I talk to are just, everybody's just kind of like, it's cool to see y'all, still pushing the boundary. It's like this type of thing is more of a concept record, but it's like it's totally like also within the realm of like where we're at. So it's I don't know. It's cool. It seems like the general consensus is like people are just hyped to see us doing new stuff too, while still keeping the vibe there.
Now, I know the first studio album, because some of you joined the group around like the 2016, 2017. So King Butch is considered the first real studio album with the group as a whole. Do you guys consider this an album because there's so many differences on here and you have so many different homages to even Biggie on here with the song Unbelievable? Would you consider this a studio album?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very much
studio album that like kind of came, I don't know, it was from live shows, but it turned into a studio project.
I know that when we go back and we look at your history, you guys originally wanted to go into the studio and make the best record as possible and then differentiate from doing your live shows. So talk to me how you guys approach going into the studio when making a record versus when you go out on that stage and perform as a collective.
It's funny sometimes because we write these certain songs and it depends on like where the certain song is in the process. Like, sometimes we'll show up to a recording session with a specific song in mind and we'll put that down. And eventually, going on the road, we start developing different versions of the song, like night by night. So basically what ends up happening is that it kind of morphs into something that's brand new. So we end up having to like record an up-to-date version of it anyway. So, I mean, like, I feel like just kind of like just taking the live energy, just kind of just like using the songs as like trial and error, just kind of see which ones go over well with the crowd and which ones like, just kind of like which different feels or how can we like mess with the songs as far as like doing like a live remix kind of thing. Just kind of like, switching it up a little bit.
And Andrew just joined the group right now. Welcome to the show.
What's happening?
We're just tapping into the album. Of course, we're just tapping into the album right now. But I want to get into the roots of this group right now because you guys all met in high school and even in college out there. I was reading online in Richmond. So talk to me when you guys first met.
So I got it. Yeah. It's, long story short, Richmond was kind of the common ground where we all came together, right? VCU, which is Virginia Commonwealth University, is the big school in Richmond, and historically they've always had a good music program. And so throughout that, I met DJ when I was 15 at VCU Jazz Day, which was a program for high school students. He was a senior. I was a freshman. He played drums. I also played drums, and we were in two different ensembles. Had no idea he played keys. I met Tennis Shoe around that same time. He was a student at VCU, and at the time, he was just playing trumpet. And so, like, Andrew came along, and I met him through DJ because he was like, yo, it's this new sick bass player that just started at VCU. You're going to dig him. He's got a Fender P bass. He just got this P bass, and I was like, "Oh, word! All right, cool, let's get it." So
that's how
Morgan came along a little later, but what's funny is his older sister actually went to VCU as well, so like everybody kind of knew him, and heard about like, oh yeah, she has a little brother that's playing this, that, and the third. So anyway, just playing in different musical situations, that weren't Butcher Brown, like that were pre-Butcher. We just kind of found like your musical soulmate through all of that. and like cats that you bond with, and you listen to the same music, you hang out and just kick it and listen to music and play music. And yeah, it was like a special kinship that I think formed from that. And I think at a certain point, when you see something that's good, you want to try to see if you can take it up to another level. And we decided to start a band.
You guys remember your first live show together, because you performed all over the world, even with the Blue Note Jazz Cafe out in New York, which is a legendary club spot.
What was the first Butcher hit? I think
Man.
the first thing we did is this iteration was with Pat Shahabian in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was the first one when we had Morgan and Marcus. Oof. Me, Corey, and Devon.
Yeah.
It was a live stream from a brownstone in New York. What was that, 2016 or 2015?
Top of 2017.
2017, damn. Okay.
Yeah,
it was that was a crazy trip. But that was fun. It was nice. It was like, okay, this is the new shit. But we had played before that with a different guitar player for a while, and
Keith.
Keith Askey, was in the band before Morgan. Shout out to Keith. And I think Chris Smith was in the band before me, and there were some Butcher shows that predated even me being in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Baliso, West Coast tour.
Yeah, we did this is going way back, and this is when we just were like, we need a band name. So we were like Butcher Brown, and we did like a West Coast tour, summer 2012, and it was a bass player named Chris Smith. He was playing with us, and then Keith Askey was on guitar. That was so early, man, and we just did like this tour of like 5 shows. We played San Francisco, probably Oakland, and Santa Monica, and then LA. And we played in Redding, California too. So yeah, it's a lot of different iterations of this group, man. It's crazy. Like early on, we were just young, just trying to figure it out and just recording a bunch of music at DJ's crib, which was Jesse Jackson Studios. And yeah, man, we've just kind of just been along for the ride. I haven't never seen it. I've never, it's just like, yo, homies, get.
Oh yeah, it kind of froze up a little bit.
Oh snap!
Yeah, finish what you were saying. It cut off like the last couple seconds.
Along for the ride and something else.
Oh yeah, so, we just been. I feel like we're just kind of along for the ride, and we just homies that want to play music, and we take it seriously.
Absolutely, and then just reading about the people that you've influenced online, and just how you're bringing back this surge and taking all your influences and putting it into this one group here. Now, how do you feel about the youth? Do you have a big youth following at your shows? Because that's the main thing out here, because you're bringing back something that we haven't heard in a while. So how's the youth following at your shows?
It's pretty good. Definitely has a nice mix of college students, just because it's a lot of instruments and like the type of music, but I feel like it's also dips into like the 20s crowd, just because there's a level of like, there's a level of youthfulness, but it also kind of looks back at music that a lot of those people may or may not have grown up on. So we're fortunate in that way. It's like we really stretch into like the 20s and the 30s a lot of times with the audience. So it's cool.
Mothership Mondays was another way that you could reach out to the youth as well, because you were covering, and just on this album, if we look at Unbelievable by Biggie Smalls, you were taking tracks that you guys grew up listening to and recreating them and making them into covers. Now, which cover do you think really sets you apart, and which people are like, no, this is different? And if you get into one in particular, and maybe perhaps even an artist got a hold of that created the original one, reached out to you and would perhaps be interested in doing a remake or remix.
I don't know that we had anybody. I don't know that we had anybody being like, "Oh, you guys covered my song. This is cool." But we definitely, I think a few of the covers that we did, we had some love, from the OG, like
Plunky.
I got to shout out Plunky. That's what I was going to say, is Plunky from Richmond.
And Patrice Russian too.
Patrice Russian, showing love with Alex Isley.
That's about it.
Yeah,
We have some
And then
bad.
Tom Brown.
Tom Brown
Yeah,
showing mad love.
We got
Tom Brown showing mad love.
We got some static.
Showing mad love.
Yeah, shout out to. Yeah, I don't know. We cool with that.
It was static. It was a little beef, but it was out of love. It was out of love.
Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. It came from a place of love.
How's your experience doing a tiny desk?
Ooh, that was
Tiny
cool.
desk. It's fun, bro.
We had to pull some strings to make that happen, but it was
Yeah, that was my fault. I almost ruined it.
What happened? We can get into it. We got a little bit more time.
I actually I got COVID-19 when we were supposed
man.
to record Tiny Desk. So we were supposed to go to this really hip like cabin in the woods, and it was going to be really intimate and great. But we pivoted, man, and we hit the rooftop at one of our favorite clubs in Richmond, Virginia, the Hoffheimer building, and I think it turned out great.
The thing about the at-home ones is like you kind of have a lot more creativity, or like you have like, I mean, you could do a lot more. So it was it's cool. Like Joey and Tony. Wait, Tony? Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah. They like just the color grading and like the look of the whole video is like it's just different. Like I mean, so it was really cool to be able to experiment with the backdrop and have Zach, our engineer, like mix it and do everything too. Like it was cool. It's a blessing in disguise. Like we all want to get in there and do the actual Tiny Desk like in the office, but it was like we really got creative and like kind of got to do our thing like with it being at home. So I was super hyped about that.
And the reception was well on that. I checked out all the comments and everything. So you guys definitely did your thing there. I want to get into Concord. So tell me about when you guys signed with Concord.
That was fun. That was a party at the offices for sure. Shout out Chris. Shout out Heidi. That was cool meeting the team and kind of seeing what was in store. We actually ran into a couple people that was in the building. Corey Henry was there. We talked to him for a little bit. And then
Lasper was there for a second, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So that was an experience, just going out west, meeting Tom DeSalvia, head of recording music over there. Just talking to the people and getting integrated into the system was really cool. And then, we've been coming up with cool ideas ever since. So it's been a decent relationship so far.
An important cover years
party
as well for Little Richard's Rip It Up, I heard was selected as the Monday Night Football theme back in September in 2020.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm not sure if they're doing it this year, but they did play it again last year.
Yeah, they did.
So we got 2 seasons out of it, which was cool.
Yeah.
Have they reached out to you at all? I would love to see them perhaps bring you out to one of the Monday Night Footballs and do something either at a halftime or some sort of part of one of the games.
That would be amazing, but we haven't heard from them.
Bro, speak it to existence, bro. That
would be amazing. Shout out ESPN for getting us on that.
What's up at ESPN?
Now we're going to get into a little sports talk here because we're branched off with the NFL here. So who are your teams being from Virginia?
I'm an Eagles fan and we undefeated right now. Big.
5-0.
5-0, man. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up an Eagles fan, but I don't really watch sports like that. But Eagles is kind of the default. My people been Eagles fans since forever.
Well, you're doing pretty well right now, 5-0, so you're undefeated.
Boom.
I was growing up. It was always like Ravens and now the Commanders.
Yeah, they changed their name.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with the Ravens because now I wonder if there's certain people that grew up a fan of the Washington Redskins that because of the name change that they left, because I know some people are just diehards. They're like, oh, you changed the name, I'm going to go root for another team. But there's people that stuck with them.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Jackson's cold. I will say that's a bad dude.
He is.
I mean,
he can run all over the field on you.
Yeah. And go ahead, my bad.
I was gonna say like the Commanders training facility is here in Richmond.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Back over there. Yeah, I mean, being from Virginia, like when Michael Vick came to the Eagles, like I was just extra hyped. And
that was a terror, bro.
Bro, it was so crazy. And like, I mean, Virginia, Michael Vick, Allen Iverson, like that whole like just crazy like people that were like
7'5"
video games, like they were like literally cheat codes. It was just like, yeah. So I've always gravitated towards like running quarterbacks. Like Hurts can move around, like and like Lamar Jackson and all it's a lot of them in the league now. It seems like it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean because of the But yeah, because of the Richmond connection, I was watching Russell Wilson with the Broncos. Keyword there is was watching.
Woo!
Was watching. Yeah, they're flopping
Figure
this
it out.
year.
Oh
Figure it
no.
out, man. I really hope so. Because I really,
How about
That's
Geno
great.
Smith taking over for Seattle out there?
he was balling yesterday. Like,
Yeah, they may have made up. I mean, Seattle, they caught a W. I don't know what Denver doing, man.
Oh,
I don't know. He hasn't adjusted to the altitude.
He hasn't. But we got the sports down here. You guys are Sixer fans, Eagle fans, Ravens. We got some things mixed in here, Commanders, of course. But when I read about you online, I know people often describe you as breaking down, deconstructing the big band, the big jazz band, big band jazz, and the solar music. So describe to me what that process is and what is the definition of solar music when it comes from Butcher Brown.
Solar music
Everything under the sun.
it's for everything. It's for everyone under the sun.
yeah, it gets hard to like answer because people are like, "What kind of music y'all do?" And it's like, well,
You do a mix of everything.
So
Very
yeah, so it's
complex.
like solar music. It's everything.
I mean, this
know?
band kind of sees sounds. Like I see a lot of sounds. Like anytime I hear something, I see a sound. And like, you know, I always tennis you and I always joke about like the orange sky. That's like the inspiration.
Yeah, the solar music, it's definitely like, you know, thinking about the way music is presented to people in general today. It's a lot of playlists, a lot of like mixes presented by, like, Obama got the mix that he put up, Jay got the mixes that, you know what I'm saying? It's always a big mix of songs, always a big like pot of stuff. But me personally, that's how I grew up listening to music. Like all of my record collections have a bunch of different artists, and just hanging out with these cats, that seems to be the thing across the board. And so like we really tap into those sounds when we play and record. And so that's kind of where solar music came from. Andy said it in the interview, and I just kind of felt like it was like, that shit describes it exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, you
Because
know,
it's-
it's just, you know, it's that old thing. What kind of music do you like? Well, I like good music. You know what I mean? That's where it comes from. Our first album was all-purpose music. It's all coming from the same place. It's just, you know, we're music lovers. We're lovers of good music. I like to think that we can all appreciate many musics from many different genres. You know what I mean? So it's hard when the stewardess on the plane is asking me, what kind of music do y'all play? So we just had to come up with something to say. And it's true, it's solar. It's very solar.
Make them ask more questions, but yeah, it is.
You're gonna play us a tune? You're gonna play us something? What's your favorite song? Is that a guitar?
Always, every flight.
I started beating them to it. I started saying, yeah, yo, what's up? I'm in a band. I'm gonna play you a tune. Just as soon as you get on the plane, what's up? I'm in a band and I'm gonna play you a song.
Nice.
Upgrade me to first class.
Yeah, put me in first class. Bring me some champagne. I'll play you whatever you want.
What genre of music do you feel as though you guys are still trying to master at your craft?
Ooh. Man, that's hard, man. It's hard. I can't say I often think in
Good ass questions,
genre.
man.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Bluegrass.
Got a ways to go.
Yes.
Definitely don't do no bluegrass.
Now, when we look back at this album at the years to come, what do you want people to say about Triple Trey when we look back on it years later here? Because this is definitely an album that we haven't heard in years, and you guys have been doing this for years since the debuts back in 2013, 2014. You guys have been really putting it on for jazz and hip hop, and like we just dove into before with solar music. So what do you want people to say when they look back on Triple Trey and how we view it?
I mean, I feel like just not to worry about trying to be, you know, trying to work within the confines. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a big band record, like, and the arrangements are crazy, but Marcus spitting crazy on top of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those don't go together in jazz school or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, so it's just kind of like, I think, just like do what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have to follow rules. That's the whole thing about improv and jazz anyways. It's like, you know, are no rules, you feel me? So
right. I mean, to me, I think it's like a bigger point in the sense of just having like, this is just one extension of the band as far as like like everyone in the band has like a different set of skill sets. And like I feel like Triple Trey is just one album where we've utilized a certain set of skill sets with Andrew's, arrangements for the big band and Marcus's compositions, and just kind of just seeing what great lengths of like the band can do. It's just like only like I feel like it's just like a small chapter, like a small glimpse of like what the band's actually capable of. And I feel like that's a good thing because depending on who's listening, they might know what's to play a certain kind of genre or a certain style, and then just to be able to like see everything kind of cross-pollinate, I think it's good to show the people how versatile we are within that.
Now, in bringing you on the show because I have a youth following, and if people aren't tapped in with Butcher Brown, people can go listen to the music. But if you were to describe Butcher Brown's sound, if you could take one jazz and one hip hop album that are classics, and if you put them together that made Butcher Brown, what would those two albums be?
Oh wow.
Ooh, man, you got some good questions, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Only two? One jazz album, one hip hop album?
If you want to name more, that's fine.
I would say the Real McCoy mixed with the first Clips album.
All right. Plus,
Not the first Clips album, the first joint that was produced by Pharrell, like the first joint.
I got you.
Was it Lord Willin'?
Lord Willin'.
Yeah.
I just think about all the music that we play in the car, bro. Like, I was in middle school during the 2000s, so like, G Unit was huge. You know what I mean? Going back to gangster rap, and then like going into high school, like everybody was trying to be hard. Dipset, you had the Locks, and then on the flip, R&B, you had, Usher, Mariah Carey was huge, Tweet. You can go on and on, but the Neptunes are really crushing it. So for me, pretty much like all the NERD stuff during that time was just so ahead. And then I guess mixed with Wayne Shorter, Lil Wayne.
Yeah. I think I would say Lil Wayne, John Coltrane. I think I would say maybe a couple like more on the jazzy side or like the fusion side would be Weather Report, Heavy Weather, and Herbie Hancock Thrust. If that's not too on the nose with like what we do, but mixed with maybe like Slum Village, Fantastic, like that kind of sound. That's a couple influences of mine. Yeah, what are you gonna add, Corey?
Jay-Z Unplugged.
Oh, there you go. Oh well, yeah, of course.
Big
Definitely.
one, sure.
Big one.
You guys definitely give me a Slum Village vibe. I was saying that earlier when I was diving into Triple Trey.
Yeah.
Shout out
Stankonia, Outkast. Just
yeah.
Yes.
Southern
Outkast
Playalistic.
is like my favorite.
Southern Playalistic
That's my favorite
for sure.
Yeah, all time.
The name
Love
Butcher
Southern
Brown
Playalistic.
comes from Ready to Rumble too. Are we going to get some new apparel here from you guys?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
We're always coming up with new merch designs, and just we're trying to come up with cool stuff to have at our shows that is going to catch people's eyes and make people excited to wear our stuff, not just because it has our name on it, but because it's just some fly shit,
I hope that if they make another Ready to Rumble, we can make some music for it.
Yeah,
that would be-
There'll be characters in it.
Bro.
Yeah.
Literally, about to say it.
I want to play as Tennis Shoe. I want to box as Tennis Shoe in the game. Marcus got some moves. I see Marcus with the moves, yo. You guys should see that shit.
I just
Marcus
want rap
can punch.
music playing while you fight the last boss. Like the
Yeah.
I just want rap music playing. I used to love that game.
That's a great game.
Yep.
Mike
Alex
Tyson
Isley.
Punch Out.
Rap City, these are artists that you've collaborated with. Who's an artist that you would think would be a perfect to do a live album with?
Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Corey.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, wow.
And Shaka sounds crazy. Amazing.
Crazy.
Like
Crazy.
we saw her live in Napa, and it was like, oh my goodness.
Crazy.
In the world. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anderson Paak.
Anderson Paak.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, hopefully all of it happens, and all of them, well, not Shaka. I mean, well, maybe, but definitely Anderson and Tyler have shown love.
Trying to do an unplugged set with Snoop.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I think that would be great.
JID.
Oh yeah. That dude is insane.
For this Biggie song of Unbelievable that you covered on Triple Trey, what was it about Unbelievable that you guys wanted to take this one and do it on your album? And did it come out of the Mothership Mondays?
I think that we actually did a video for Unbelievable, which was just a cover that predates Mothership Monday. It was like earlier than us really branding that as Mothership Monday.
Yeah.
And I got to say, to be quite honest, the reason why I threw it into the pot was fan interest. The people wanted to hear it. People heard that we were going to be playing with a big band, and they just wanted to hear that one. So we did that one. So all you fans out there, show the interest.
You're
Make
welcome.
the request. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Submit your request. Put a little sheet of paper in the suggestion box. We might just do it.
We might not.
Yeah, I mean that record is special. Like that record kind of shows you like what Big could do.
Definitely.
Like that was that record. And it's like you listen to it, it's 3 verses, it's a premiere beat. That's all you need.
Right.
Yep. Crazy.
Exactly right. One of the classics, Ready to Die.
Yes, sir.
And we got a classic coming from you right now, Triple Trey. Go check that out on all platforms. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show here tonight. Is there anything else you want to let your fans know? Anything upcoming? What else is left on the docket for you guys for 2022?
Man, make sure y'all check us out at Elsewhere on December 11th with the great Nate Smith, VA Stand Up.
Yes, Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, yes. And then we'll be putting out music, putting out content. You know, we got some other stuff brewing. And then top of the year 2023, we'll be playing with the Richmond Symphony. So we got a couple wild things to look forward to.
They can follow you on Instagram and Twitter at Butcher Brown. Make sure they can follow you there as well.
Yes, yes. Cheers.
ButcherBrown.com.
Go check out the website.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, I want to thank you again for coming on the show, man. I enjoyed talking with all of you. Congratulations on all your success this far, and keep doing great things for music, because there's not too many people out there doing what you're doing. You're one of the only ones.
Appreciate you, man.
Man.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, man. Anytime, man. And shout out to your management as well for setting us up.
Yeah.
Regime, baby. Regime music group.
Baby.
Peace out, guys.
Peace, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Anytime, man.